Hello everyone, welcome to MBA Karo. In this video, I'm going to discuss CAT 2021 Slot 3 DILR. And this slot was the most difficult last year because of one of the sets that was based on javelin throw. Okay, and two of the sets were easy. One was again moderate to difficult, and one was ultra difficult. So let's have a look at the solution to the questions that were asked in this slot of CAT. This is the first set. Again, in all three slots last year, there was a graph based set, and this was a simple one. But one needs to read these instructions carefully. The figure shows the schedule of four employees whom Dhoni supervised in 2020. Although there are five projects, altogether there are five projects which started and concluded in 2020 in which they were involved. So these are the five projects that are given to us: project 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And for each of these projects and for each employee, the starting day was at the beginning of a month and concluding day was the end of the month. And these are indicated by left and right end points of the corresponding horizontal bars. Okay, so for example, project 1, this person Abani started on Feb 1, okay, and ended it on March 31. So that is 2 month duration. Similarly, 2 month duration, 2 month duration, right? And that is the thing given to us. Now, what are these percentages include? It says that for each employee, his or her total project month is the sum of total project month, sum of number of months. Okay, the person worked across the five projects. So let us take for example, let us say if I ask for Abani, it is 2 months here, 2 months here. Abani did not work in project 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 months here. So for Abani, project month will be equal to 5. So sorry, 9. That is what is meant by project month. Okay. Then second condition that is given to us is his annual completion index is the weightage average of the completion percentage assigned from the different projects, with the weights being the corresponding number of months worked in these projects. Okay, so if we ask about the if we talk about the completion index, so completion index is 100, right? So 200, and this is 200, and this is 80 into 5, 400, okay, upon 9. So if we talk about this 800 by 9, that is equal to 88.89%, right? So that is your completion index. Project month is total sum of the months. Completion index is weighted average. So weighted average is 100% here, 100% here, 80% here. So 80 into 5 and adding this divided by 9. So that is completion index. Okay. Then we are given the third thing for each project, the total employee month. Now this is employee wise. Okay. Now the same thing is applicable project wise. So project wise, total employee month is the sum of number of months of four employees worked in this project. Let us say if we talk about project 2, okay, just taking about project 2. So if we talk about the employee month, project employee month in this case will be 1 2 3 and plus 2, that is 5. Employee month is 5, and completion index is the weighted average of the completion percentage assigned to the employees. So if we talk about the completion index in this, completion index is 90% into 3, that is 270, and 100 into 2, that is 200 by 5. Okay, because 3 plus 2 5, that is 94%. So this is how we find this. So completion index, employee wise as well as project wise. Similarly, employee month, project wise, and project month, employee wise. So that is what is given in this data. So it was about to just to understand this piece of information. Then one could have easily calculated the things. So the first question is, which of the following statements is or are true? Okay, so first thing says that the total project month was the same for the four employees. So for A, we already calculated is 9 month. Okay, let us calculate for B, D, and T. For B is the green one. This is 2. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is 1, 2, 3. Okay, so B also it is 9. D, if we look at D is 3 months here, 1, 2, 3 months here, 2 months here, and 1 month here. 3, 3, 6, 6, 3, 9. D also it is 9, and T is the yellow one. So 2 months here, 2 months here, and 3 months here, and 2 months here. Total 9, right? So this statement is true. Let us look for the second statement. The total employee month was the same for the 5 projects. Total employee months. So if we talk about employee months, 2, 2, 2, this is 6, this is only 5. So no need to check for all others, right? For the first two itself, there's a difference. All right. So first statement is true in this case. Second question, which employees did not work in multiple projects for any of the months in 2020? So you just need to observe these and tell that which of them did not work in multiple projects. Okay, so let us start with A. Did A work in multiple projects? A is working till here, then here, then here. There is no overlap. So A is one of those. Okay. Now let us look at B. B is the green one. Green one working till here. Then new project started. Then new. So B is also one of those. Okay. Then if you look at D, so D is the black one. So black one working in separate projects. Right. So that is also there. Okay. Now if you see this, acha, there is one option, all four of them. So let us look at T also. T is the yellow one. Okay, so T, if we see here there is an overlap of T. Right? T is working in both the projects in September, from September to October. So T is not included. So the answer is A, B, and D. Again, very easy observation based set. The project duration measured in terms of number of months is the time during which at least one employee worked in the project. Okay. Which of the following pairs of projects had the same duration? Okay. Now this is option by option you need to check. So project duration is the time during which at least one employee worked in the project. Okay. So if you look at project one, so we need to find that from where to when the projects ended. So it is from January 1 to 3. So 3 months duration, 3 months duration here also. Right now, this it is not basically, it is the start time and the end time. So we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 months for this. And if you look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 months for this month, this project also, and this project 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 months for this. So we see that 1 and 2 had the same duration, 3 and 4 have the same duration. Okay, 3 and 5 no, 1 and 5 no, then 4 and 5 no, 3 and 4 have the same duration. So project duration is the number of months for which the project was going on. Okay, and at least one person was working on it. So this was going on from here till here, and this project was going on from here till here. So 5 months each. The list of employees in decreasing order of annual completion index is. Okay, so let us first observe and see that can we find out like some person with high percentage, or do we need to actually calculate it? So if we look at these values, okay, so just observe these values. A has 100, 180. I'm not calculating exactly. Then B 175, 90. So B is less likely to be more having more efficiency. Then T, if it's 180, 100, 100, T can have high. And then if we have D 90, 100, 100, 100. So I think D must be the highest. Okay, just by observation, I'm not even calculating. So D is working on 90 in one of the cases and 100 in rest of the three cases. Okay, so we know that for each person it is like for each person there was 9 months. Okay, so for 6 months D is 100. So 600 plus 90 into 3, 270. No need to divide. We know that total production of D is 870. So 870 by 9 is 40. Okay, so that looked the highest. Now, if you see these, we can remove these two options. D, T, A, B are left. So let us check about A and B. Okay, so A looks more, isn't it? A looks more 100, 180. So let us check calculate for A. A is 100 into 2, 200, to 400. So 4 times is 100, 4 months it is 100, and this is 80 into 5, right? So 400 and 400, that is 800, and divided by 9 to get the actual one. B, if we look at, B is 200, okay, and this is 75 into, so 200, 75 into 1, 2, 3, 4, that is 300, and here it is 90 into 1, 2, 3, 770, okay, divided by 9 will be the efficiency of B, okay, annual completion index. Now this looks the least. So D, then T, A, B, D, T, A, B. You want to check for A, T, let us check for T also, although not required. We know that it is for 7 months it is 100, right? 2 plus 3, 5, 5, 7, 700, and for 2 months it is 80. 80 into 2, 160, 860. Okay, so close, quite close to D, but second after D. So D, T, A, B is the right answer. Okay, all right. So that was the set. Easily doable, not much time taking. Okay, now this set was an interesting one. If you look at the solution, it you will feel that yes, that was a very simple set, just that it was about understanding the concept well. Okay, it says that each of the bottles mentioned in this question contains 50 ml of liquid. The liquid in any bottle can be 100% pure content, or it can have certain amount of impurity, and visually it is not possible to distinguish between purity and impurity. Okay, there is a testing device which detects impurity as long as percentage of impurity tested is 10% or more, right? So impurity should be greater than equal to 10%, then only it can measure it. Okay, now they have given an example also so that you can understand it, right? So if one could understand without reading the examination example, that is a great thing. You would have saved a lot of time in this. It is basically based on mixture and allegation. Okay, so if you understood it without that thing, so great, you would have saved a lot of time. But still, I believe that one reads this uh, should be able to understand this statement. Okay, so it says that suppose bottle 1 contains only P and bottle 2 contains 80% P and 20% I. If content from bottle 1 is tested, it will be found out that it contains only P. Okay, so if impurity is greater than equal to 10, then it is a positive result. Okay, and if impurity is less than 10, it is a negative result. Okay, so you cannot tell, it will show that it's a pure one. Okay, so maybe it might be 8% also, 9% also, it will not be able to detect. Now see this thing. So if you take P, right, if it is pure, so obviously it should show that it is pure. Okay, if this is 20% impure, it will show it is impure. Okay, now if 10 ml from bottle 1 is mixed with 20 ml content from bottle 2, now what will happen is 10 ml from bottle 1 will have zero impurity. Okay, 20 ml, since it is 20 ml is how much? 20 ml with 20%. So bottle 2 is 20% impurity, right? 20% of 2 is 4. Okay, so total impurity is 4 and total volume is 30. So 4 by 30 is greater than 10%. If it is greater than 10%, the test will show that the mixture has impurity. Okay, so it will show a positive result that this is impure. But now we can, from that we can tell that at least one of them is impure. Now, if 10 ml of content from bottle 1 is mixed with 5 ml content from bottle 2. So, if we put 10 ml from bottle 1, we will have zero impurity. 5 ml from bottle 2. 5 ml ka 20% is how much? 5 ml 20% is 1. Okay, 20% impurity. And if we mix them, so we get a 15 ml solution. 10 ml plus 5 ml, 15 ml. So, 1 by 15 is less than 10%. It's less than 10%, so it will not show the impurity. Okay, so the test will not detect any impurity. So that is what is given to us, right? So I hope by reading this much, you should be able to understand key, like how to test impurity. It should be minimum 10%. Okay, now let us look at the questions. So first question says 5 ml of content from bottle A is mixed with 5 ml of content from bottle B. The resultant mixture when tested detects the presence of I. Okay, if it is known that bottle A contains only B, What best can be concluded about the volume of I in bottle B? Okay, so it says that you are mixing equal quantity from those. Now it does not matter whether it is 5 ml, 10 ml, or anything. Okay, now if you are mixing equal quantity, so first should be see, the thing is you should be worried about impurity. Okay, because it is testing impurity. So do not look for P, look for I. Okay, so bottle 1, bottle A has 0%. Okay, and B has we do not know about B. Okay, so when they are mixing, so they are mixing in equal, and resultant is showing I. So that means A plus B should be given greater than equal to 10%. Then only it will show I. Okay, because if it is less than 10%, it cannot detect. So that means now these are equally balanced, right? 0%, and so these are of equal volume. So that means B should be greater than 20%. If B is greater than 20%, then only if they are mixed in, so basically it is A plus B upon 2 basically, right? So A is 0, so B is greater than equal to 20%. Now B is minimum 20%. Now B has to 5 ml. 5 ml ka 20% is 1 ml. Okay, so it should be greater than equal to 1 ml. So 5 ml content. Okay, so sorry, this is, the bottle is 50 ml. Okay, it is given that 50 ml of bottle, we are taking just 5 ml from it. So 20% of 50 ml is 10 ml, so 10 ml or more will be impurity. Okay, 10 ml or more is impurity because it is 20% impurity minimum. Okay, next question, there are four bottles, each bottle is known to contain only P or only I. They will be considered to be collectively ready for dispatch if all of them contain only P. In minimum, how many tests is it possible to ascertain whether these four bottles are collectively ready for dispatch? Okay, now this was a tricky one. I mean, like, it is about common sense if you can understand this. As I said again, that you just have to deal with impurity, right? Do not worry about P. So there are four bottles, each bottle is contain only P or only I. Okay, now if, let us say, if all four of them, they will be ready for dispatch. So let us consider the first scenario, that all four of them have P. Okay, now if all four of them have P, so when you mix them, it will show 0%. Okay, 0%, that means it will be approved. Okay, now if we have, so if you test all of them, you know that okay, this is 0. But let us say, even if one bottle has impurity, okay, even if one bottle has impurity, you have 0, 0, 0, 100. Okay, and when you divide by 4, so let us say if you mix all of them, so if you mix all of them, the impurity will be 25%, and it will be detected. So if, even if one bottle contains impurity, it can easily come into detection. So you just need one test. So from one test, you can determine that whether it is whether it is clear for dispatch or not. So either all four will be pure, or even if one impurity is there, if there are more, then it is even, it will be obviously detectable, isn't it? So अगर एक में भी होगी तो you get 25% impurity which will be detected. So what you need to do just is mix all. Just mix all the contents, and you will be able to determine what is the whether it is impure or not. Okay, so in just one test you can tell that. Next question, there are four bottles. It is known that three of these bottles contain only P, while the remaining one contains 80% P and 20% I. What is the minimum number of tests required to definitely identify the bottle containing some amount of I? Okay, now again, do not focus on P, focus on I, right? So let us say there are four bottles, B1, B2, B3, B4. Three of them have 0, 0, 0, and one of them have 20, right? Let us say we need to check that which of these, we need to find out that identify the bottle containing some amount of I, right? Okay, so suppose if we mix, we have to find, definitely identify. Now let us say by accident, if I check B3 and B4, I will get that one of them has I. Okay, all right, we will define that also. Suppose I check B1 and B2. Okay, now these are interchangeable. Do not read that this is B1, B2, B3, B4, not in order. Just taking an example. So if B1 and B2 I mix, I get 0%. Okay, so I know that B1 and B2 do not have impurity. Now what we will do is, we will just check one of these two bottles. We will not check both, right? We will check just one check. We know that it is known that three are only P and one is impure, right? So we know that these two do not have impurity. So we will randomly check. So if we check B3, that also turns out to be pure. So we know that B4 is the one with the impurity. Or if we check B4, we know that that is with impurity, and this is these are the pure ones. So we need two tests in this case. Okay, now suppose I mix impurity value bottle. Okay, suppose we do not mix these two, suppose we mixed these two, right? So these questions need to be done by mixing things. If you do not mix, you will keep checking, it will take more attempts. So we will just mix this. Let us say we mix B2 and B4 randomly. Okay, now if we mix B2 and B4, we know that it comes at 10% impurity. Okay, so we know that one of them is a faulty one. Okay, now what we will do, we know that these are not faulty ones, so we will remove them. Now we will just check individually one of these. Let us say if I check B2, I will get 0%. So I know that B2 is pure, this is impure. Because it is known that 3 are pure. And if I check B4, it will show me 20% impurity. So I know that yes, B4 is the one that has impurity. So in this case also we need just two checks. One by mixing and another by just picking any of them randomly. So we need two tests to identify it. Okay, next is there are four bottles. It is known that either one or two of these bottles contains only P, while the remaining one contains 85% P and 15% I. What is the minimum number of tests required to ascertain the exact number of bottles containing only P? So we have two cases. One is one bottle containing either one or two bottles contains only P, and another contains 15% I, right? So 0, 15, 15, 15. Or we have another case, we have 0, 0 and 15, 15. Okay, now we need to tell what we know that these are the conditions. What we need to determine, we need to tell that how many bottles have only P. Okay, we do not have to find the percentage of impurity or anything. We have to tell that how many bottles have only P. Now again, this is also that kind of puzzle wherein you have to think. Okay, now if I mix all this, what do I get? I get 45 divided by 4, that is 11.25. Okay, now this will show impurity. This will show impurity, so I can tell that only one is pure, right? Only one is pure. Now if I mix all these, I will get 30. Okay, and divided by 4, that is 7.5%. It will not show impurity. Okay, now what we know that one or two of these bottles contain only P. Okay, we need to do minimum number of tests. So by just one test we can tell that if it is 1P or 2P. In this case, it will show impurity. So we know from one test itself that there is only one P. In this case, it will not show impurity. So from only one test, we can tell that this is 2P. Okay, so we need just one test to get this thing done. Okay, so that is the solution to this set. Okay, so again, interesting one. It was just about like solving a puzzle kind of thing. Okay, so let's see the next one. This was quite an innovative, interesting set. It says that three reviewers, Amal, Bimal, and Komal, are tasked with selecting questions from a pool of 13 questions. So there are 13 questions, and they have to pick. Questions can be created by external subject matter expert or by one of the three reviewers. Each of the reviewers either approves or disapproves a question that is shown to them. The decision lead to eventual acceptance or rejection of the question in the manner described below. So they have given some rules that how a question is accepted or rejected. If a question is created by an SME, it is reviewed by Amal and then by Bimal. If both of them approve the question is accepted and is not reviewed by Komal. If both disapprove the question, it is rejected and is not reviewed by Komal. If one of them approves the question and the other disapproves it, then the question is reviewed by Komal. Then the question is accepted only if she approves it. So basically what it means that if SME creates a question, okay, that goes to A, then goes to B. If both of them select it, so the question gets selected. If both of them reject it, the question gets rejected. If one reject and uh, one reject and one selection, then it goes to K. If K selects it, it gets selected. If K rejects it, it gets rejected. So basically you need two approvals. In simple words, you need two approvals. Okay, either these two approve or like one of them and K approves. So like if you get two approvals first hand itself, it gets approved. If one of them rejects, then it needs a second approval. So a question created by SME needs two approvals, simple words. Second says a question created by one of the reviewers is decided upon by the other two, so that should not go to the SME. Okay, now in this case, if a question is created by Amal, then it will be first reviewed by Bimal. If Bimal approves the question, then it is accepted. Otherwise, it is reviewed by Komal. The question is then accepted only if Komal approves it. A similar process is followed for questions created by Bimal, whose questions are first reviewed by Komal and then by Amal only if Komal disapproves it. Questions created by Komal are first reviewed by Amal and then, if required, by Bimal. So Amal creates something that will be first reviewed by Bimal and then by Komal. Okay, Bimal, Komal, and then needed if needed. Okay, and Komal creates, so Amal will see first, and then if it is needed, then only it will go to B. Now in this case, we need one approval. So if one person approves, it will not go ahead. Okay, suppose Bimal created and Komal approves, it will not go ahead. But if it is disapproved, then it will go to Amal. And if Amal approves, this will be accepted. So basically, in short, what it needs to say is the question by SME needs two approvals, the question by reviewer needs one approval. Okay. Now we are given that some information is given about the review process after this review process was completed. Okay, so what we will do is we will make a table like question number 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on up to 13, because for all 13 questions we need to determine that who is the creator and approver and all those things. That is what is needed in this set. So 13 questions, and some of them get rejected, some of them get accepted. That is given to us. Also, we need to find out who created which question. So we have a question can go from, like a question can have four people involved in it: the SME and A, B, and K. All right. So let us say that if it goes to SME, A, B, and K. So the first thing that is given to us is Q2, 6, 9, 11, 12 were rejected. 2, 6. These questions are rejected. Okay. Now what we need to do is Amal reviewed only question 2, 3, 4. So we'll just put like which all questions he reviewed: 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, and 13. Okay. Bimal reviewed 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6 through 9. That means 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 12 and 13. So these are the questions checked by Bimal. Komal reviewed 1 through 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 7, 8, 9, and then 11 and 12. So using this information and the thing that we know about the process, we need to determine uh, that who accept or rejects what. Okay. All right. So now let us see this. Let us do it question by question. So let's go to the first question. The first question says that the first question is like Komal is reviewing this and this question is accepted. So how can it be like, see, we know that if it is created by reviewer, right? So that needs one approval. We see only one person is reviewing it and it is getting approved also. So that means Bimal created it and Komal approved it. Okay. Question number two gets rejected and it is reviewed by three people. Now, how can it happen that it goes to three people, right, and still get rejected? So that means it is created by SME. SME created it, okay. Then it got like one of them will approve, one of them will reject. So we cannot tell who approved or who rejected it. We cannot tell, right? It may be this person approved and this rejected, or vice versa. And definitely Komal rejected it because if three people, if Komal also accepted, then it would have been accepted. Now, if you look at question 3, it went to this person and this person. So that means B must have created it. Okay. Now, it is not rejected, it is approved. So it is created by a reviewer and it needs one approval. So this means this person rejected it, but A approved it. So that is why it got approved. Now, question number 4, if we see that it is approved and it is going through three people. So that means again SME created it. These two people, one of them must have approved, one of them have rejected, because if both of them approved, it would have been approved here itself, right? And then Komal approved it, right? So that is why it got approved. Question number 5, again easy to identify, approved and only Komal reviewed it. So that means B created it and this K approved it. Question number 6, now it got rejected and it was reviewed by two. Now you need to think very carefully in this. One possibility is that this person created it and it got rejected by both of them. Okay. Second possibility could also be that Komal created it. Okay. Komal created it. It got rejected here and then rejected here. So both things are possible. So in any question, if we are given this scenario, right, these two uh, attempting that question, right, reviewing that question. So we cannot tell that whether it was created by SME or Komal, but we can definitely tell that it was rejected by both of them. Because if it is not rejected, like if let us say it is by SME, right, and it is rejected, so that means it requires two rejections. And if it was created by Komal, it again requires two rejections. Okay. Now, question number 7 got approved and did not come from here. Okay, because Amal would have reviewed it. So that means Amal created it. Now, it requires one approval. So that means it was not approved here. Because if it was approved here, this will not go here. So approved, rejected, and this person approved it. Question number 8, approved. Okay, so question number 8 similar to 4. Okay, because we see that all three people reviewing it. So that means first person either approved or rejected. Second person did the opposite thing and this got approved by Koval. Question number 9 would have been created by Aman, right? Rejected here and then rejected here. Then only it will get rejected. Question number 10, it was like, see, it is reviewed by just one person. Now, the trick here is it cannot be from the SME because SME requires two approvals. How can a question get approved by only one approval? That means this person created it and this was approved by A. Okay. Now, question number 11, rejected and just two rejections, and this person is not reviewing it. So that means it was created by Bimal and then rejected here and rejected here. Question number 12, rejected. So it is not being reviewed by Amal. That means Amal created it and rejected here and rejected here. Okay. Now question number 13. 13 is approved. So one possibility could be that this content creator created it, right, and this person approved it and this person approved it. Second thing, we need to think that maybe Komal created it, this was rejected by this and approved by this. Because if Komal creates, it requires only one approval, but it is not being approved in the first instance, then only it will pass on to B. So we know that okay, this person definitely approved it, but it came from here to here. Now the tricky parts were in 2, 4, 6, 8 and 13. These questions are the ones wherein we are not sure of who approved or rejected. In some cases, even the creation in question number 6 and 13, we cannot ascertain who is the creator, and in the remaining questions we can easily tell who created, who approved and who rejected it. All right, so this is how one needed to solve this particular question. Now let us look at the questions that were followed by this. Okay, so first is how many questions were definitely created by Amal. Okay, so we need to check that how many are definitely created. So here C means created. Okay, so we need to see this. So first question, if we see uh, one question, two question, three questions, right? Three questions created by Amal. How many questions were definitely created by Komal? So if we look at this, we know that this question is definitely created. These two we are not sure of, right? This could be created by SME or Komal also. So we can say that only one question definitely created by Komal. Okay. How many questions were definitely created by the SMEs? So SMEs, we know question number 2, 4, and this we are not sure of. This we are sure of, and this we are not sure of. So again, three questions that could be created by SMEs, right? We're not sure that who about the other two. How many questions were definitely disapproved by Bimal? Okay, disapproved definitely. Okay, now this we cannot tell because this is rejected or approved. So let us check that. One is definitely disapproved, second one, third one, fourth one. So we have four which are definitely disapproved. Okay, we could have three more also, which is not certain. But definitely, if we talk about, we can tell about the four questions. The approval ratio of a reviewer is the ratio of the number of questions he or she approved to the number of questions he or she reviewed. Okay. Which option best describes Amal's approval ratio? So let us first know that how many questions Amal reviewed. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he checked 8 questions. Now how many he approved versus how many is approval upon this. So 1 he approves, 2 he approves. So minimum 2 is approved and maximum how many he is approving. Maximum he can approve 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maximum he can approve 6. So this is the minimum approval and maximum approval is 6 out of 8. So that is 0.25 to 0.75. Okay, lies between 0.25 and 0.75. That is the maximum. This is the minimum approval ratio. For two questions, we know question number 6 and 11 that he definitely rejected. So that is the range that we get. How many questions created by Amal or Bimal were disapproved by at least one of the other reviewers? So we need to check for the questions. We need to find first created by here and then disapproved by at least one of them. Okay, so created by him, not disapproved. Created by him, disapproved. So there is one such question. Created by him, approved. Created by him, disapproved. Second question. Created by A, disapproved. Created by B, disapproved. Created by A, disapproved. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 such questions. Okay, so that was the solution to this set. So like a typical CAT set wherein uh, some on the spot thinking is required how to go about solving these questions. Okay, so that is the solution and the answers to the questions. Now we move on to the most difficult set, which is probably the most difficult set ever in asked in CAT, one of the most difficult. So it says that there are 10 players, they competed in an international javelin throw event. Now this might be inspired from that Olympic event which took place last year, in which Neeraj Chopra won the gold medal. Okay. So, like if someone had watched this event, might have been able to skip certain parts of information, but definitely one cannot one cannot solve this in the examination hall. It was too lengthy. All right. So first of all, let us read this instruction carefully. It says that the number, so P1, these reflect the rank. So P1 is the first ranker, second ranker, third ranker, and so on till 10th ranker at the beginning of the event. With rank 1 going to the topmost player and so on. There were two phases in the event. Okay, first phase consists of round 1, 2, 3, and second phase was rounds 4, 5, 6. A throw is measured in terms of the distance it covers up to one decimal point accurately. Okay, so throw that I think everyone must have got it. Only if the throw is a valid one. So only valid distance is measured. For an invalid throw, the distance is taken as 0. Invalid is considered 0. Okay. A player's score at the end of a round is the maximum distance of all his throws up to that round. Okay, so let us say in the first round, let us say someone has hit 85. Okay, R2, R3. So let us understand that how this scoring is done. Suppose he throws 83 in this and now he throws 84.6. So his score till here will be 85 because it is the highest. Now suppose in round 5 he hits 85.3. So his score now becomes 85.3. So his score will be the highest till that amount. So if he increases from the previous score, so that becomes his new score. And if he continues to go less or anything, so that score remains the same. The highest of the best throw till that round. Okay, that is the score of the player. Okay, so in case of a tie in scores, the player with a prevailing higher rank retains the higher rank. So if that there is a tie in scores, prevailing higher rank retains the rank. Okay, so let us say P1 and P3 have the same distance, so P1 will have a better rank. This ranking determines the order in which the players go in for their throws in the next round. Okay. In each of the next rounds in the first phase means second and third round, because first round is already P1 to P10. The players throw in increasing order of their latest rank. Now, this paragraph could have been understood by the people who watched that javelin throw event, because they must have seen, right, that Neeraj Chopra was in the top and he was the first one to three, right? So increasing order of the latest rank. So player ranked first at that point throws first. Player ranked first throws first, followed by player rank 2 at that point, and so on. Right? The top six players at the end of first phase qualify. So top six players qualify for the second phase. In each of the second rounds of the second phase, the players throw in decreasing order of their latest rank. Now, what happens is in the second round, they throw in the reverse manner. So, player rank 6 throws first, followed by player rank 5, then player rank 4, and so on. And the players rank 1 to 3 at the end of the sixth round receive gold, silver, and bronze medals. So, what it says is first round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like this, they will throw. Second round also rank 1, rank 2, rank 3, rank 4, and so on. Based on previous round. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on will throw. Now from fourth round, so six will qualify. Top six will qualify for the next round. Now six will throw, five will throw, four, three, two, one. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So first ranker will throw in the end. Okay, so that is what is given to us. Okay. All right. So that itself would have consumed a lot of time to read the instructions and understand the question, the rule of the game. Okay. Now we are given even more data. All the valid throws of the event were of distinct distances. That means all of them have different values. The tables show distances in meters covered by all valid throws, first and third round of the event. So this is for the first round. This is in the third round. So we are not given any other data, right? Just for the first and the third round. Okay. Now the next is this, some more facts are given to us. Okay. Now, among the throws in the second round, only the last two were valid. Okay. So let us, we will draw a table like this. First round we are given. So this is, these are the distances thrown by them. Okay. Now what will happen is whoever throws the highest will become rank 1. Okay. So that person will throw first. Now out of these values the highest is 87.2. Okay. So that means P7 will be the first person to throw in the second round. So whoever throws highest will go to the first position in the next round. Okay. Then P7, then followed by, I mean, we can see from this that is P5 will be the second person to throw. Okay. And then P5, after P5, we have P9 will be the next person to throw in this round. Then P9 to 84.1. Then we have 82.9. P1 will be the next player. Okay. And then we have P6 and then P3. So these are the players in which they will throw in the next round. Now what will happen is all the others are invalid. Okay. So all their scores are zeros. So original rank will remain in that way. Right. So P2 will throw next, then P4, then P8 and then P10. So that is how the throws will happen in the second round. Okay. Now let us read this information and we will do it step by step, round by round. So first it says among the throws in the second round, only the last two were valid. So only these two are valid throws. So that means all of them are invalid. Okay. Both of the throws enabled these players to qualify for the second phase. So that means these two players are in the top six. Then only they can qualify for the next stage. Okay. With one of them qualifying with the least score. Now that means one of them P8 or P10 is the sixth rank. One of them is sixth rank and another we do not know. Right. One of them is sixth rank, but both of them qualify. Okay. None of these players won any medal, so they will not win any medal. Medal last round mein milega. Okay. They did not win any medal. Both of them qualified. They were among the top six. Now see, from here top six will go to this round. Okay. These four will get rejected. Okay. If a player throws first in a round and he was also the last among the players in the current round to throw in the previous round, then the player is said to get a double. Two players got a double. Now, what is a double? Now, double is something wherein uh, a player throws like the last throw in a round and the first throw in the next round. Okay, so let us say P10 was throwing here and P10 was throwing here. So that is called a double. Suppose P10 is throwing here and P10 is throwing here. That is called a double. Okay, and let us say like some person is throwing in the this round and then throwing here also. That is called a double. Okay, two players got a double. So another rule to understand what is a double, and two players got a double. In each round of the second phase, exactly one player improved his score. Each of these improvements was by the same amount. Okay, again, too much information, too complex set. The gold and bronze medalist improved their scores in the fifth and sixth round. ठीक है, अभी फिफ्थ सिक्स राउंड में बाद में पहुंचेंगे, पहले हमें थर्ड राउंड तो क्लियर करें, तभी फोर्थ फिफ्थ सिक्स में जाएंगे. The difference between the final scores of the gold medals. Okay, this is also a talk of the last round. ठीक है. Now what we need to do is we need to find out who reached in the first. We need to find who are the top six people, right? We just know that these two are among the top six. We need to check for the other four also. So we need to focus on round three first. Okay. One of the things that we need to check here is two players got a double. Now the rules are, right, in this case the top players are playing like 1 2 3 4 5 6, but from here it will be opposite, like rank 1 2 3 4 5 6 will happen this way. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6 will happen this way. rank 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 will happen this way. Now we need to find how can we have a double, right? So round 1 to round 2, is there a double? P10 is not throwing first, so not possible in this case. Okay. Round 2 to round 3, we may have a double. Okay. Round 3 to round 4 will be a double. Yes, definitely it will be a double. Why? Because initially it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. अब ये रैंक उल्टी हो गई 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So this person will anyone anyway have a double. So round 3 to round 4 is a double for sure. Okay. Now will this round also have a double? Can this person go to the last position, right? So the person was at the first rank. Can that person move to the last position? Can that person move to the last position? See this thing. In each round of the second phase, exactly one player improved his score. ठीक है, तो एक ही प्लेयर इंप्रूव कर रहा है, तो फर्स्ट सिक्स पे तो नहीं जाएगा, राइट? फर्स्ट खिसकेगा तो सेकंड पे पहुंचेगा, राइट? फर्स्ट कैन नॉट गो टू द लास्ट पोजीशन. सो इन दीज टू राउंड्स यू कैन नॉट हैव अ डबल, बिकॉज दिस पर्सन विल नॉट मूव टू द लास्ट पोजीशन. So that means where will we have the double? We should have a double here. It is a necessary. See, this is automatically a double. Sixth rank, first rank. Okay. Now here also there should be a double. So this means that P10 threw this thing first. Now how can P10 throw first in round 3? How can P10 throw first in round 3? So this implies that P10 must be the topper, because in these rounds the toppers are throwing first. Okay, so P10 is the topper, and P10, how much P10 must have thrown? P10 must have thrown more than the highest value here. So P10 must have thrown 87.2 plus. Because if P10 threw less than that, P10 will not be the first one, because still here the first ranker is 87.2 and they are not throwing anything. Okay, so P10 is the first ranker here, right? So P10 gets a double, and we have another person who ended with the sixth rank here. Okay, we are given that a person has a double and one of them is a sixth ranker. So this player is P8. Okay, and that person also uh, goes to this round. Now P10 through 87.2 plus, how much will P8 throw? See, P8 is jumping to the sixth position. Okay. Now, how can P8 jump to the sixth position? That means P8 must have thrown, like, see, P10 has moved. So next, see, all of them had fault, right? So they will retain their positions in the same order: P7, P5, P1, P9, and P1. Okay, so they will have the same position like previous one. Okay, now if P1, P1, and then we have P6. Okay, so that means P8 threw more than P6. So P8 throws 82.5 plus. P8 has to throw more than that, because it has to remove P6 from his position. P8 has to be ahead of P6 in the position. Okay, now then we will have the remaining players in the same order, because all of them had a fault, so they will retain their order in the remaining way. So this is P6, then P3, then P2, and then P4. So this will be the order in which they will throw in the third round. Okay, now we will talk about the next thing, that is round 3 scores, right? We know the round 3 scores. Okay, all right, now if we see this, P1 is throwing 88.6. Okay, P3 is throwing 79. IDB got rejected, and P9 is throwing 81.4. Now we can formulate the rank in which they will throw in the fourth round, right, based on their historical data. Okay, so this is done. Now we'll arrange them in order. Okay, so we know P8 is the sixth one, so this is P8 who will throw here, right? And P7 or P10, we do not know about P10, right? P10 can be 80, we know that it is 87.2 plus, but whether it is more than 88 point, see, P7 was 87.2. Okay, P1 is 88.6. So P1 definitely might be the topper, or it might be P10 also. ठीक है, P10 भी हो सकता है, P1 भी हो सकता है, because we know it is more than 87.2, but we do not know whether it is more than 88.6, right? So we know that it is P1 or P10. Okay, we cannot tell from this. And then definitely P7 will come here. Now the order is reversed. Okay, so it can be P1 or 10, it can be P10 or 1, then it is P7. Order is reverse, top 6 का order reverse होना चाहिए. ठीक है, all right, now let us find out, will P9 qualify? P9 had 84.1, so his higher score will be accepted, right? So 84.1 ही उसका score रहेगा, because this is lower than S. P3 anyway will be rejected because उसका score 81.5 है, and we have better candidates, right? P3 का score कितना है? So these 6 will go in the reverse way, right? So P8 last में आ जाएगा, then P1. P1 has scored better, so P1 first भी हो सकता है, second भी हो सकता है. Then we have P9. Okay, after this it will be P9, and then we have P5. So this is the order in which they will throw in this order: P9, P5, P7. Sorry, this P5, P7. So this is the order in which they will throw. Okay. Now, one more thing that we need to check here is whether it is P1 as the first position or P10 at the first position. Okay. Again, a lot of information processing required in this set. One thing that is given to us here is what happens in the last 3 rounds, right? The gold and bronze medalist improved their scores in the 5th and 6th rounds respectively. So gold medalist improved his score in the 5th round. That means gold medalist यहाँ पे second रहा होगा, और यहाँ पे first में आ गया. ठीक है, so this is the gold medalist who was second here, improve किया, first पे आ गया, last round में improve नहीं कर रहा है. So that means gold medalist was here, and now he is the gold medalist. ठीक है, ब्रॉन्ज मेडलिस्ट इम्प्रूव्ड इन द 6th राउंड. ब्रॉन्ज मेडलिस्ट ने 6th राउंड में इंप्रूव किया. दैट मींस ब्रॉन्ज मेडलिस्ट वाज 4th हियर, ही इम्प्रूव्ड एंड वन द ब्रॉन्ज मेडल इन द लास्ट राउंड. ओके, ऑलराइट. One medal winner improved his score in the 4th round. Now this can be gold, silver or bronze. We do not know who is that person who is improving in the 4th round. 4th round में मतलब that person went ahead. Okay, now another thing that is given to us is that final scores, that is come to it later. This double thing is done. This double part is done. In each round of the second place, exactly one player improved his score. Right? Exactly one player improved his score. That means only one shift in ranking will happen in each of these rounds. Okay. Now we are given that this thing, the last two were valid. That means P8 and P10 were valid, and it is given that none of these players won any medal. So P8 or P10 को कोई medal नहीं मिला. Now P8 was already out of contention, 6th rank पे था, right? P10 is someone who could have possibly won a medal, because यहाँ पे P1 is either first or second, right? Now will P10 be the first here or not? That we need to check, right? What happens if P10 is one thing that we need to check is can P10 win the medal or not? So अगर suppose P10 यहाँ पे होता, ठीक है, यहाँ पे gold medalist तो improve नहीं कर रहा है, तो P10 यहीं पे रहता, because gold medalist is improving in the 5th round, right? So that means like यहाँ पे P10 ही आगे रहता, isn't it? जो यहाँ पे P10 रहता, और अगर P10 शिफ्ट भी होता तो एक पोजीशन शिफ्ट होता, राइट? चलो अगर P10 यहाँ पे रहता भी और गोल्ड मेडलिस्ट यहाँ भी इंप्रूव कर लेता, ठीक है, सपोज P10 वाज हियर, गोल्ड मेडलिस्ट इंप्रूव फ्रॉम हियर टू हियर, बिकॉज ये गोल्ड मेडलिस्ट यहाँ पे थर्ड पे रहा होगा, तब सेकंड पे आएगा, तब फर्स्ट पे जाएगा, ठीक है, अगर 2 बार इंप्रूव करेगा. सपोज P7 गोल्ड मेडलिस्ट है. ओके, सो इफ P7 इंप्रूव्ड हियर एंड देन इंप्रूव हियर, तो भी P जो 10 है वो यहाँ तक शिफ्ट हो पाता, ठीक है, वो बाहर the P10 cannot shift to the fourth position, right? P10 could not have gone to the fourth position. So this means that P10 first नहीं होगा, P10 was second. और दो बार शिफ्ट हुआ P10, राइट? दो पोजीशन पीछे शिफ्ट हुआ है, तब जाके P10 को मेडल नहीं मिला है. So P1 must have been the topper. Now P1 is the topper. That means P10 का स्कोर पता लगा सकते हैं. So P10 का स्कोर must have been between 87.2 से लेके 80, we can say that P10 his score is greater than 80 or less than 88.6. Similarly, we can find for P8 also. We said that it is more than 82.5 and P8 was behind P9. P9 का score था 84.1. Okay, so if there were a question like this, one could have answered that as well. Okay, now this is so far for round 4. So let us think ahead what could have happened in this round. Okay, so this thing we figured out that P10 is not the winner here. Okay, now P1 is also not the gold medal winner because gold medal winner is improving here. So this means P7 must be the gold medal winner here. Okay, because P1 suppose P1 is the gold medal winner here, right? It is saying that gold medal winner improve किया तो इसका मतलब वो पहले gold medal में नहीं था. So P1 is not in the gold medal race. P10 is not the gold medal winner. That means P7 is the gold medal winner. He improved from here to here and then improved from here to here. So P7 is the one. यहाँ कह रहा है ना कि exactly one medal winner improved his score in the fourth round. So that is the gold medal winner or P7. Okay, and it is given that in each round of the second phase exactly one player improved his score. So in round 4 P7 improved his score, in round 5 P7 improved his score, and in round 6 this bronze medal winner improved his score. Rest of them will remain as it is, right? So let us find out that who is in which position finally. Okay, so P7 improved his improved score. What will happen is P10 will get shifted back. ठीक है, P1 पे कोई impact नहीं पड़ेगा, P1 will remain as it is. P10 will get shifted because P7 is improving his score. So P10 will get shifted. These three will remain as it is: P8, P9, and P5. Now in this round, this person is improving. So that means P7 is going to the first position, right? Because he is improving in the fifth round itself. So P1 will get shifted here, okay, and then P10 will remain as it is, and then these three will remain as it is. Now what is happening in the last round is in the sixth round the bronze medal improved, right? So P5 improved his score. He exceeded the score of P10 and hence became the bronze medal winner. So P5 will get shifted to fourth position, okay, and P1 will be the silver medal winner, right? P1 will remain as silver medal only. Okay, now one player improved his score and each of these improvements was by the same amount से improvement होना है, ठीक है? Each of these improvements was by the same amount. Now what is P7's score till now? P7 score है 87.2. Okay, so he will improve by same amount and will the gold medal. Okay, P1 is the silver medal winner. He is not improving his score, right? P1 is not improving. So P7 is improving 2 times and here P5 is improving. So that means यहाँ पे P7 पे स्कोर आएगा कुछ, यहाँ पे भी P7 पे इम्प्रूव आएगा और यहाँ पे P5 पे इम्प्रूव आएगा. सिर्फ एक 1% अपना स्कोर इम्प्रूव करेगा, ठीक है? Now all this improvement is by same amount and then we know that P1 will finish with 88.6. ठीक है, 88.6. Now it is also given that the difference between the final scores of the gold medalist, silver medalist and between silver medalist and bronze medalist 1 meter का difference है. So gold medalist will get 89.6 and bronze medalist will get 87.6. 1 meter difference has to be there. So gold medalist finally threw 89.6. Now his improvement is here itself. यहाँ तो इसने improve नहीं किया ना, ये फिफ्थ राउंड में इंप्रूव करके फर्स्ट पोजीशन पे आ गया था. तो यहाँ पे दिस पर्सन हिट 89.6. ओके, नाउ सेकंड थिंग इट इज गिवन कि दो बार इंप्रूवमेंट हुआ. 87.2 चेंज टू 89.6. कितने का डिफरेंस आया, 2.4 का आया. सो दैट इंप्रूवमेंट इज ऑफ 1.2 ईच. सो 87.2 के बाद उसने 88.4 थ्रो किया and then 89.6 throw kiya. So 88.4 will come here. This person hit 88.4 meters in this, and then 89.6, and then therefore it jumped from this position to this position. Okay. All right. Now again we can get one more thing is, यहाँ पे अगर ये P10 से आगे निकल गया तो P10 88.4 से कम था, बिकॉज अगर P10 उससे ज्यादा होता तो ये P10 से आगे नहीं निकलता. ठीक है. सो P10 was even less than that. Okay, next very valuable information we need to find for P5 also. P5 ने भी 1.2 का improvement किया होगा, क्योंकि ये that is given that each of these improvement was by the same amount. Now P5 का 86.4 था तो 87.6 हो गया, right? So justified है, right? Plus 1.2 का improvement हो गया. So 1.2 का improvement, 1.2 का improvement, he became a gold medal. He did a improvement of 1.4, he became the silver medalist, and he remained at 88.6 and hence ended up with the uh, with the bronze medal. Now again thing is, P10 should be less than 87.6. Okay, P10 should have been less than 87.6, because if it was more than 87.6, right, in that case P10 should have won the medal. So P10 का score 87.2 से 87.6 के बीच में कहीं रहा होगा, like 87.3, 87 point, like there was no such question. But yes, if there was a question like this also, this is how you need to understand this data. So very complicated set. I think this is the most difficult set ever in the history of CAT, and definitely not doable in the examination. Even the smartest of the people would take 30 minutes to solve this set for the first time. I mean 30 minutes is even less, right? 40 minutes तो पूरा लग ही जाएगा आराम से इसे solve करने में. So definitely not something. That is why the scores were highly increased in this slot, right? So people got 4 extra marks, 4 or 5 marks extra in this slot in normalization process, and it was reduced for the other two slots. Okay, so finally this is what we will get as the table. Now we shall look at the questions and answer it, and see that if some of the questions could have been answered without even completing this whole process. So that should have been the strategy for the test takers there. Which two players got the double? So this could have been answered. Okay, this we knew that, okay, P10 gets a double here, and P8 was the uh, P8 got the double here. Okay, so that is P8 and this. Okay, next question is, who won the silver medal? Okay, silver medal means like, who is the silver medal winner here is? Silver medal winner is P1. Who threw the last javelin in the event? Last javelin will be by P7, right? So this is the order in which they are throwing the javelin. What was the final score in meter of the silver medalist? So silver medalist, we saw that it is 88.6. Which of the following can be the total score of P8? Right. So for P8, we said that it is between 82.5, and P8 is ahead of P6. P6 का score था, नहीं, it is ahead of 82.5 and behind P9. P9 is 84.1. So between 82.5 and 82 P8 84.1, तो इसके बीच की वैल्यू देखनी पड़ेगी. That is 82.7. That is the only permissible value. Okay. By how much did the gold medalist improve his score in the second phase? Now it is talking about the gold medalist second phase. Again important. Second phase means collectively round 4, 5, 6. Right. So again, do not mark 1.2. The answer would be 2.4. Total improvement it is asking about in the second phase. So that is why 2.4 meters. Okay. So that was the solution to this interesting set. Definitely like a very difficult set to do, and should not, such questions should not be touched in the examination. One should try other things. and we saw that the other ones were doable. The graph one was fine. The mixing part was also a simple one, and one could have attempted that question paper set in the examination and definitely done quite well overall also by just attempting three of the sets. So thanks for watching this video. Have a great day.